Baby, I'm a gangster too.
Your experience finished today.
Baby, I'm a gangster too. Gangster too.
Bonjour Aline.
Bonjour Emilien.
Thank you so much for having me here today to support this project
You're welcome.
and to be available on a Saturday. I would like to introduce you. You are Aline and you are the director of Sion Airport. Since how long you are the director of the airport?
Director here since 2015. So it's almost 7 years now.
And how is going so far?
We've had great years before COVID, and then COVID came, and we thought it was going to be everything was going to be flat. And in fact, it's the contrary. We are working like we never did, and we are very happy to see that.
This is the same for everyone in the industry. It's true that during this March and April, every country was shutting down and we were all scared, and the days were so quiet and the skies were so empty and nobody was talking at frequency. I remember that you told me that as there were no movements, you tried to do some animations for the Instagram.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about what was your...
Yes, it was very empty here. It was like nothing, not even a helicopter was flying, and it was a very boring period. And so we played with Playmobil and with some little gadgets that we put on the runway to make some pictures with Playmobil customers with their luggages and so on. And we had to animate a little bit something on the social media.
I know that you're not just an office person, you also like to fly. You have a pilot license, correct?
Yes, correct.
During your training, if you had some favorite exercises?
The biggest experience for me was my first solo flight. It was here at Sion Airport in 2007, and my instructor said, okay, just drive to Alpha to make another go around, and then at the moment he opened the cockpit and then he left. I said, hey, where are you going? I didn't know it at the time, but it was all planned with the tower, and they made me wait.
Okay.
And almost 30 seconds, I was like, and then I pushed gas, and then it was, I mean, emotionally, it was one of the best experiences of my life. I've been waiting for this moment since 15 years, and I wanted to do my pilot license when I was 15. So I've been waiting for that moment for so long time that it was more of some kind of an accomplishment.
So Aline, in the cockpit we have some kind of stress, and even if it's just one mission, sometimes it's hard to control the stress. So I'm really curious about how you manage the stress to be the director of the entire airport.
Well, it's like in the cockpit. It's all about procedures. You have to have the procedures established, written down, and trained. Trained and trained again. And then you have to evaluate the deviation of that procedure that can occur and have plans already written when those several scenarios that we have detailed happen or occur. And we train all the deviation of the procedure. And with this matter, you have the normal day, working day, which is the normal procedure. But if something happens, you have all the maybe 80 to 90% of the deviation that are known and trained. So people know what to do, and this lowers the stress.
I'm curious about holidays and your free time. For example, when you go to holidays, 1 week, 2 weeks, or 3, I wish. How does it work? Is there a replacement to your position?
Basically, we have 2 jobs. The first job is the director, which is managing the human resources and so on. And the other job is the airport authority. And when I'm in vacation, it's the airport director or manager on vacation, and airport authority role is covered every day when the airport is open. So when I'm here at the office, it's me, but when I'm on vacation or maybe somewhere else for a meeting or so, we are 3 persons that can be assigned to that job, and I have the right competency to take decisions.
That's really smart. And
yeah.
so you can have good holidays.
Mm-hmm.
So, Aline, the Sion Airport is located in the Valais canton in Switzerland. We are in the French side of it, and we are really in the heart of Europe. And not everyone knows that nearby we have so many beautiful, astonishing ski resorts.
Well, indeed, we are located in the heart of the Alps, of the Swiss Alps, and there are 2,500 kilometers of ski slopes within 1 hour from the airport. And this is a huge advantage for us, and this is one of the reasons why we have so much success in business aviation. You can, from Sion Airport, you can go to Chamonix in France, you can go to Gstaad or to Zermatt or to Crans-Montana, Verbier, all those major famous ski resorts are located quite close from here. And for instance, Zermatt, we have lots of customers, they are landing here, and the helicopter is waiting for them, and within 7 minutes, they are in Zermatt.
That's Hollywood style, from the
mean,
private
it's
jet
just
to the helicopter.
amazing, in the heart of the station, of the ski resort. It's the same for Gstaad, for instance. In 10 minutes flight with helicopter, you can fly from Sion to Gstaad. It's just amazing, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Aline, we can say that most of the traffic landing in Sion are private jets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious if from a management point of view, this is an advantage, and if there are some disadvantages to it, and just your opinion from your experience about this particularity.
I don't think there are advantages or disadvantages. It's our business model. Our aim when we started developing a couple of years ago, 5 years ago, business jets, my aim was to make of Sion a little Bourget.
Mm-hmm.
Like in France, in Paris, there is business aviation airport. I wanted to make Sion the little Bourget of Switzerland. And today I'm very happy because we are there, and yes, it's great, it's just great.
I like the comparison, I know exactly what you mean, and I like this title, the Swiss Le Bourget inventor. Congrats. Just to give an idea about the volume of traffic that Sion holds during 1 year, can you tell me what was the best year and how many movements we got in here?
The best year was 2021, middle in the COVID, and we did 6,500 movements, business jets.
Wow. The next exercise, something that I would like to do, is to find out how many movements Le Bourget got, do the prorata with the population of Paris, and see if Sion beats them.
Well,
because the population here is
I don't know, but
40,000?
Le Bourget is the number one in Europe, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite a lot.
Aline, after this nice presentation, I'm really curious to visit the airport.
Okay, no problem. Let's go and see the fire brigade.
Let's go. How far is the fire brigade from here?
2 minutes with the bus.
2 minutes. Aline, how many employees work for Sion Airport?
We are 25 full-time employees, And we are about 25% coming just depending on the traffic and so and they are trained, they have all the ratings to come here and sometimes work for charter and so on there.
And this is just Sion Airport itself, but
Yes.
on the whole platform?
The whole platform is about 350 workers here.
We are now at the fire brigade unit. We are really well equipped.
Yes, exactly. Here we are quite central on the platform because in case of intervention we need to be on the spot for a crash, for instance, within 3 minutes maximum. And we have here two big vehicles for those intervention. They have both 10,000 liter that can be sprayed up to 80 meters. This is quite far away within 2 minutes. So we are ready at any time during the opening hours to intervene on major aircraft. The rescue helicopter have little fuel truck because they have to be mobile. Sometimes they are here to fuel the helicopter on site, but sometimes they have to fuel maybe on a place outside the airport. They can go outside with these little trucks but when they are doing the refueling with the rotor running, we need to be here with the fire in case of fire starting. Deux express, s'il vous plaît.
Deux express.
Avec un verre d'eau, s'il te plaît, ou deux. Je sais pas.
Non, ça va aller.
Ah, okay. Aline, today the weather is wonderful. When it comes to sell a flight into Sion, and we need to use operator like from Germany, from France, operators from abroad, when it comes to plan a flight to Sion, they are a bit concerned about the qualifications needed to land in here. So I would like you to briefly describe the two qualifications, A and B.
Indeed, there are two types of qualification. The A qualification allows you to come only with higher minima and during daytime, and the B qualification allows you to operate at night with lower and also with lower minima when there is bad weather condition. Basically, we used to do those qualifications here on site, but now we have changed that system a couple of years ago. The A qualification is made on the internet directly on our website, and the B qualification you can do it now in a simulator center like Flight Safety or CAE. We have about 15 simulator center agreed from Sion Airport Authority. We've trained instructor, which we audit every 2 years, and it's all organized to give the pilots the best way to find and train this B qualification. We've had quite a lot of success with this program because we increased about 300% of the per year qualified pilots. Also, is the pilot is qualified. It's not a machine qualification. It's not the aircraft that is qualified. It's the pilot. So if the pilot changes the aircraft, the qualification is still valid.
If an operator lands here with the qualification A, and if the crew stays in Sion during 2-3 days, can you also arrange quickly a training in their own aircraft?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Yes.
So there is a list of agreed instructor?
Local instructor available, yes.
I'd like to make a consideration about maybe the operator can think that it's really expensive to do this qualification and that it doesn't happen so often like to go to Sion. And I think that 1 hour of simulator can be in the range of 1,000 to 2,000 euro. And if one jet does a go around to go in Geneva or in Bern, they will end up spending much more than this qualification.
Yes, this is clear. If you have to fly 1.5 hour with the aircraft, you will have to pay the hour from the aircraft. In the simulator, when the pilots are doing their recurrent, they can
Add this module.
they can ask for that module with the specified instructor in the simulator center in Dubai or in Teterboro, in London, in Amsterdam. I mean, we have lots of simulator center agreeing.
I remember in 2018 we welcomed Inter. They come with Alitalia. I was wondering what are other famous airlines that in the last 10-20 years landed in Sion Airport?
Well, quite a lot. We've had EasyJet coming, but for special flights. I mean, not for regular flights, but only for special occasions. We've had back then Air Berlin. We've had Swiss coming regularly, so that's a scheduled flight with Swiss that we have. Helvetics also flies quite a lot over here. A couple of years ago, we used to have British Airways also scheduled with London. Now it's Swiss operating this route.
Now the situation with scheduled flights is a bit quiet. Do you think that in the future Sion Airport will be serving some routes like scheduled flights? Or
before the pandemic, we used to have London Heathrow and London City, and Palma de Mallorca in the summer season. And at the moment it's quiet, although this summer we are going to fly Palma de Mallorca again. We have Saint-Tropez, Calvi and Figari in south of France and Corsica. Our aim is to develop a little bit more this part, but at the moment we are quite busy with the business jets, so we have to make some adaptation of the terminal. Going to be ready within 1 or 2 years to open to major airlines. Our aim is to do something in between Innsbruck and Chambéry.
And Palma is confirmed?
Palma is confirmed, yes, starting in July to October.
Super. Can we take a visit to the tower?
Yes, sure.
So why do we wait the van? I just noticed 18:21 local time. This is the closing time today.
Yes, exactly.
Where does it come from? 18:21.
It's sunset plus 30 minutes, and operators have the possibility to ask for an extension, and that's it. And with the extension, you can land until 9 o'clock in the evening.
About this, I would like to compliment Sion Airport because I think that the commercial offer is quite competitive. It's not a secret that to keep the airport open, the price is around about €250 per 30 minutes. I believe that the price is pretty fair if we think that you will need to keep a lot of people in the ground.
Yeah.
Who you need to keep on the airport to make such extension?
How
many people?
I need about 5 to 6 people to keep the airport open for landing at night.
Aline, I'm so excited that you are bringing me to the tower. I never been into a tower before.
Really?
Yeah.
Ok. Alors, la tour de contrôle, s'il te plaît.
On Brigade believe that there are two ways to get up. Either the elevator or 100 steps. And we choose the 100 steps.
Hello.
Là, il est vert quand on est dans le bon time. Donc là, ça veut dire, depuis 11h25, il est vert, et à partir de 11h55, il devient rouge. Dépasser de 400, 500 pieds, 500 pieds.
Michael, bonjour. Bonjour. I'm really glad of this opportunity that you gave us to show a tower. Sometimes we talk at the radio, but I wouldn't be able to recognize you. About a curiosity that I have, how does it really work if someone wants to become an air traffic controller? If you can describe me what are the professional steps, the qualification?
You need a high school degree or a CFC, that means that you made an apprenticeship and you have a diploma at the end, and then you have to pass through the selection procedure that takes 3 days, where you will be checked if you're able to handle stress or if you're able to do several things at the same time.
The attitude.
Exactly, the 3D picture, if you're able to understand how it works in 3D dimensions. There are also some logical tests under stress, and at the end, quite English test also. You have to have the B2 level in English to start the training at the Air Traffic Control Academy of Skyguide.
Yeah. If we need to do like a comparison with flight school, at one point during the PPL you do your first solo. Is there any exercise which can remember this in the air traffic controller? Like, what is your first solo in this career?
First solo takes place much later than compared to the pilot's career, because first you will be at about 1 year at the training center where you do theoretical training and simulation, and then you come on the job where you work, and then also you will be under the responsibility of a licensed air traffic controller, and just only after 1 year, additional year of training on site, you will pass your examination, and once you have your license, you are allowed to work alone.
I have a curiosity, a question. Even if I'm not type rated, for example, on Airbus A320 or on the Boeing 737, if something goes wrong and I'm a passenger, I could, in case of an emergency, go in the flight deck and land this airplane. An air traffic controller like you, if now we are at JFK and there is a need for personnel, you need to jump in. It's a bit the same, that maybe you don't know exactly all the procedures, but you can easily adapt to your tower work environment.
JFK is one of the busiest airports in the world, with more than 1,000 flights each day.
I think it might be.
What could happen?
I think it might be very difficult. I understand. I know what I have to say, but I don't know the approach and departure procedures. I am not familiar at all with the organization on ground. So honestly, I think I couldn't help much, to be very honest.
What is like the maximum number of movements per day that you experience since you are here? Like,
if we put everything together, commercial traffic, private aviation, helicopters, gliders, scooting flights, I think we reached sometimes more than 300, between 300 and 400 movements. That's really very, very high.
Michael, the next time I will hear you on radio, I will remember about this chat, about the opportunity you gave me to visit your tower, explain me your job. I think it's time for lunch, so maybe we can go to grab something at the restaurant.
With pleasure.
Perfect.
On my knees in the night, there, baby, I'm a gangster. Bang it.